Jonathan, Theo, and Raphael of Ego Kill Talent. Welcome
Hello.
to Linea Rock.
Buonasera.
Buonasera, good to have you. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
Brazilian Quintet, founded in 2014 by drummer Gene Dolabella of Sepultura fame. We are here presenting your second album, The Dance Between Extremes. You were named actually by Google as one of the 20 breakthrough acts of 2017 with the debut album. Did it bring the best of luck to you guys?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
I think so. We had some great runs on 27 and 28 and 2019. So 2018 and 2019. So, yeah, it was, I think we can't complain. It's been a very fun ride to be in.
What this dance between extremes represents? What do you mean by that? Is it, in a sense, autobiographical? Why is it, the perfect fitting title for this album? And the videos also are related some way to it, apart, from being connected through one into the other, but are they part of a sort of whole concept?
Yeah, I think so.
So that, yeah.
Yeah, the dance between extremes is everything that we have to deal in our day-by-day life. We have to deal with losses, with newborns. All these are extremes, and we wanted to represent in the videos everything that we're talking about in the lyrics somehow.
And it's important to say that we thought of this name before the pandemic. So this name was before COVID, not because of it.
Okay, but it fits anyway also to the experience. So, you have released several EPs and singles in between the first album and this one. Do you think that for how music is approached and enjoyed today by the people, the fast way, is it better to release EPs and single songs rather than, suddenly an entire new album, at least at the beginning of a career? You've done a lot of things before, but as Ego Kill Talent, you are a new band in a sense. So, or have you simply, adjusted the shot step by step? And you get it right, by the way, since, considering the over 20 million streams that you reached on Spotify, you must, have done it right. But was it done on purpose, just, to go step by step?
Yeah, actually, we love releasing full albums. We all in the band, we are from a generation where we love to have the album in hands,
LPs and cassettes.
But in this specific case, we did it mainly because of the pandemic and the COVID. The initial plan was to release a couple singles while we were touring with Metallica, because we were supposed to do a huge world tour in 2020. So the original plan was to start the releases with a single during the Metallica tour. Then we would go to the Metallica tour would be in South America. Then we would go to the United States and do some festivals with Metallica there too. And then we would go to Europe and play with System of a Down tour in Europe, where we were going to release the full album.
Yeah.
And we would also play the festivals in Europe and some shows with Foo Fighters and everything. But because of the pandemic, everything got postponed. And then we spoke with BMG, the label, and we got to the conclusion that was better, instead of release the full album at once, that we slice it in different EPs so we have constant music being released during the pandemic. Because otherwise we wouldn't be able, to tour, which is the best way to promote an album. So we thought, okay, so how can we promote the album in a different way? And then we decided to do the EPs, which is actually the full album.
It's like a half baby was trying to born.
Okay. So you mean that on the EPs there are no different songs at all, are just the songs that we found on the records, or there are some bonuses here and there?
Well, actually, here's the way we thought. We had the full album with 12 songs. So we did the first EP with 3 songs. Mm-hmm. And then the second EP has 4 new songs plus the 3 songs from the first EP.
Okay.
And then the third EP has the 3 songs from the first, the 4 songs from the middle one, and 6 more for extra songs, and that makes the full album. So it's like it builds up. Okay. You know, like you add new music to what you had previously until you get the full album.
We are used, to different kind of Brazilian sounds in rock. Thinking about, Sepultura, your drummer, Gene, was part of it. And Angra, for example, are the most famous bands out from your country in actually hard rock metal. But what do you think is your, so South American, let's say, about your attitude and sound, or Ego Kill Talent, set to a more universal approach? And how is the rock scene in your area? A lot of bands or a small circle and you are all friends? How would you describe it?
Yeah, well, I think that first of all, the Brazilians, like you mentioned, Sepultura and Angra, and now we have Kiko Loureiro from Angra playing Megadeth, which is awesome. I think Brazilians in general, we have a passion, which I think it's similar to Italians. We're just a hot blood kind of people, and we have the passion for music and for rocking, and I think that's a big fuel. We respect and we like very much both Sepultura and Angra. Actually, we are very close to the Sepultura guys, even before we started Ego Kill Talent. Me and Rafa, we had a band that we toured with Sepultura a few times, so we were already close to Sepultura. And I remember right when we began the band, Ego Kill Talent, we did a show with Sepultura, and all of them came to our dressing room and they hugged us and they said, we're going to help you for whatever you need. And we had the same kind of approach from Angra. They were always very supportive. Kiko Loureiro, he went to our recordings in Los Angeles when we were recording this album. He spent one day there with us. So I feel like there is a sense of community of Brazilian musicians in rock music that they really want to support each other. As far as music-wise, I think we are different than both, than Angra and Sepultura. I always say when people ask about how to describe Ego Kill Talent music-wise, I always say that we love heavy music, we love heavy metal, we love heavy guitar riffs, heavy drummings, but we also love beautiful harmonies, beautiful choruses, even some pop melodies. And I feel like in Ego Kill Talent we have both. We have in one song we have a very heavy tuning, very low tuning, very heavy guitar riffs, but at the same time big choruses with harmonies, and we love that. I think it's our truth as people. That's the kind of music we love to listen to together, and that somehow is translated in our music. And yeah, that's how I would describe it. And as far as the scene here, there are some great bands from both metal and rock. There are some really good bands out of Brazil, like Project 46, Violet Soda, Far From Alaska, and many more. And yes, we are all friends.
Okay. The name Ego Kill Talent is a clear message. Were you inspired by someone in particular in music or showbiz in general, or you chose it as a sort of a reminder for yourselves?
It was inspired in ourselves. Every human being needs to deal with the ego. it's very common to talk about it in music and arts, but it's everyone, absolutely everyone. And it's exactly what you said, is a reminder.
It is, okay. So you all agreed in really first place that this was the perfect name for the band? How did it came along?
Yeah, actually we did. Well, we were all friends before we started the band. I know Raphael for over 20 years and Jonathan for like 15 years. So we were all very good friends before we started the band. And when we started the jamming, me and Jean, and then after that with Rafa, we already wanted a name that would be a statement and a name that would communicate what we believe, you know. And as friends, all of us, even before Jonathan joined the band, because we were already very good friends, we always spoke about our egos. We always spoke about our inner challenges, our inner fears, our anxieties, you know. And as friends, we would talk to each other and we would try to help each other and to bring some serenity. So we felt like the band should be about that, you know, because that's what unites us as friends and as people. So we thought we should look for a name that would be a statement that we believe in. And then we saw that saying, I had the idea of having something with the word ego. Mm-hmm. So I wrote on Google, I wrote ego, just the word ego. Yeah. And then a lot of sentences showed up. And then one sentence that says, too much ego might kill your talent. Yeah. When we saw that, I was like, whoa, I really liked it. And then I showed to Jean and we were like, yeah, ego kill talent's a strong name. And that was how we chose the name.
Plus, the word kill is very rock. So that's a perfect choice. Okay. You recorded this second album at 606 Studios, owned by Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters. Among the 12 tracks, there are some special guests like John from System of a Down, Roy from Stone Sour, and the skateboarder Bob Burnquist, which is 13 times X Games champion. How and why did you involve them? Because I'm sure they don't live in your area, in your same area. So how you get to contact them, and why the skateboarder, actually, which is a particular choice?
I just asked if they want to answer, because I'm answering all the questions.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Your mind is more focused.
That's good.
If I start to talk, we go for hours.
Feel free. I mean,
we know John from System for many years. Before we were friends before the band started, and he was actually one of the first people to ever listen to anything we did. He was for holidays here in Brazil for vacations, and I took him to the studio as a surprise because he didn't know I had a band. So I said, I have a surprise for you. I have a band now. So I brought him to the studio and we played for him like 3 songs. This was back in 2014. Mm-hmm. And I think it was the end of 2014. And then he said...
So you knew him already? So you were friends already?
Yeah, okay. We were friends for many years already. Okay. We have some friends in common. And so he came to spend vacations in Brazil. And I was supposed to drive him around, take him to good places and restaurants. So I brought one day him to our studio. And I said, I have a band, and we played for him 3 songs live. And I remember that he said, when we were getting the studio, he said, I told him, I said, I have a surprise for you. I'm driving you to my studio because now I have a studio and I have a band, and we're going to play some songs for you. And he was a little shocked because he didn't know it. So he said, here's the thing. If it sucks, I will tell you it's a shit. I said, no problem. Because that's how John is. John is solely like that. So I said, no problem. So we took him, we played for him 3 songs, and he really liked it. And he said, I think you guys have something solid. I think you guys have a real band. You have a diamond in your hands. that you should believe and work on. So John was someone who was there for us since the beginning, and he really pushed us, and he was very supportive. So it was very natural to record the song with him.
Yeah.
It was his idea, right? To be on the album.
Yeah. He actually called one day and he said, "So I heard you guys are recording a new album." I said, "Yes, and we're going to record in the US." And then he said, "Yeah, I would like to play one song." Wow. So, but actually we end up writing a full song with him. So it's not like he played drums in one of our songs. We went in studio and we wrote the song together, the whole song. From scratch.
Wow.
And it's actually very impressive when you work with John. He's really open-minded with music. He goes in any direction you can imagine. And when you write songs with him, you realize that a lot of System of a Down identity comes from him, from his way of thinking. It's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. That became very clear very, very fast. And so we wrote the song together. And actually, the song is not released yet. That song we're going to release, we just released the full album except that song that we're going to release as an extra single probably in a couple of months. Okay. And we can even maybe come back to your show with him, because we're going to do a run of interviews with him.
Would be great. Yes, you're always welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. Maybe you can talk about Roy Moyorga, because it came from he's a drummer too. So
okay, Raphael, do you wanna add something about Roy?
Yeah, we did this song called Silence, and it has some Phil Collins references on the drums. And Steve, the producer, he's a huge Phil Collins fan, and he was like, "Guys, I think we should try some drum machine on this song." And we had never used a drum machine before, so we picked one that was in the studio. He tried, but it was not exactly what he was thinking about. And he said, "I have a friend who has a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna call him, see if he can bring something." And it turns out his friend was Roy, and he brought a drum machine, a Roland drum machine, that was the exact same one that was used on Phil Collins' "In the Air Tonight."
Oh, wow.
So Roy just showed us how it worked. He programmed it, and that's his participation on the album.
He did the programming. It's his programming.
Yeah.
So Jonathan, you're gonna take Bob.
Okay. Well, Bob is a good friend, a great friend of ours, and we were at the studio, and he lives in Brazil and also in California. Mm-hmm. And he was around, and we invited him to hang out with us at the studio, and he came over, and he ended up recording the tambourine at the same song, Silence.
Okay.
Which is, just because of the vibe, he's so cool.
And also, it's important to mention that he surprised us a few times already skating when we were playing. Like when we were playing Lollapalooza, he and was broadcast on national TV in Brazil. He just jumped in the stage with his skateboard, and he was skating doing one song. And he did the same thing in Rock in Rio, but this was not announced. I mean, he didn't. He just wanted to do it, and he just did it. We didn't know he was doing that. So
I found out when he touches my arm. I went, "What?"
Unbelievable! Very cool. So we just saw the video, and you had the much shorter hair. Now you're getting it longer. Are you preparing to be, the perfect headbanger when the tour will, start?
Absolutely. I miss my long hair. I cut it 6 months earlier, prior to the video. Yeah. This video, and a year already has passed.
Wow. So, long time. Yeah.
Long time. I miss my long hair.
When Jonathan has long hair, he complains about his hair. He's like, "It's too much trouble here." and then he cuts his hair, and then he complains, "Oh, my hair is too short. I miss my long hair." So it's
Gene also founded Family Mob Studios and is a producer. How important is it, for a band to be involved also behind the scenes and do it all in a country like yours, to have a future in music? And what is it like to have a drummer, which is also a producer, who also plays the guitar in the band? Is it a pro or a con? And is this maybe the main reason why you decided not to record in his studio, but to go to America? Maybe it was too much if he had to do, also the producer. What's the reason behind this choice?
Well, actually, first of all, it's a big pro. It's a very, very big pro. It really adds. Jean is extremely talented. He can play very, very well guitar and drums and everything he touches on. So it really adds. We have a mentality that anything that any of us can bring to the band that will sum, it's very welcome. So it really helps. It's a big weapon that we have.
Yeah.
And well, as far as production, I think on Eagle Q Talent, we are all little producers a little bit. In the way we write music, it's very collaborative. Mm-hmm. It's very organic. As you mentioned, we switch instruments, so I think that gives us a freedom when we are writing music, because we are not thinking about the instrument we will play, but we are thinking about what the song asks for.
Yeah.
So I think we are very, very free when we are writing music. We are it's very organic. We sign all the songs together, the five of us, because we feel it's very organic, and we are like one entity that it's made of five guys. That's how we see the band. It's one animal that it's made of five individuals. That's how we see the band. And we record the first album at Family Mob, and Family Mob became kind of our HQ in Brazil, because all our equipment is there, all our stuff is there. So many bands also want to be there because it has all this environment, Eagle Q Talent vibe in it. So we feel like our home. And we recorded the first album there. We flew Steve Evetts from the US to Brazil to record the first album, and we really liked the results. We loved the first album very, very much. And the reason we decided to go to the US has nothing to do with the studio. It was really because we felt like it would be healthy for the band to be in a different country, out of the comfort zone, very focused on the album. Mm-hmm. We were already talking with labels. When we decided to record in the US, we were already talking with labels, with management, with agencies, and they were all in LA. So we felt like it would be smart to record in LA. And then we finally got the invitation from the Foo Fighters camp to record at 606, and we thought that was perfect. So
you have this peculiar habit of switching instruments, as you already mentioned, apart from Jonathan, actually, who apparently holds the microphone tight and is the only one singing. Okay. How this come about? You do it just live or also in the studio, and how you decide who plays what in the spot?
First of all, I have a spoiler for you. In the next album, Jonathan is playing piano, and I'm not kidding. We're already writing songs like that.
He keeps pushing me.
You should.
I love piano and rock. I love it. So that's going to happen. And he already plays some guitars. Now it's done, Jonathan. There's no way around it. I already announced Benito. So you have to do it. But the switching of instruments, it was very natural. It came very, very natural. When we started the band, Jean called me. He had just left Sepultura, and he called me, and he asked if I wanted to have a coffee with him. So we went for a coffee, and by the way, we love espresso.
Okay.
The Italian way, the short way.
Yeah.
We really like
ristretto.
and the affogato. So we went for the ristretto, me and Jean. And then he said, I just left Sepultura. I'm not sure what we're going to do. He was considering maybe moving back to his city with his wife. And then he asked me what I was doing. And on that moment, I wasn't even playing instruments because I was working with other stuff. But then he said, let's jam. So we started to jam. And then we started to write some drafts, that became songs. And at some point, we had drummer, Jean, on the drums. I was playing guitar, and we had another person playing guitar and no bassist. Okay. And then Rafa, who is a friend for many, many years, and we played together for many, many years, me and Rafa, before Ego Kill Talent. And he was a drummer of my previous band. So Rafa listened to some demos of Ego Kill Talent. And then he said, I want to join this band. And I said, man, I would love to have you in the band because you are like my brother, but we already have a drummer. And you are, and by the way, I really think Gian and Rafa are two of the best drummers I ever saw in my life. So, and I was like, you are an amazing drummer, Rafa. Two beasts. And I said, you are an amazing drummer, but we already have Gian, who just left Sepultura. And Rafa said, yeah, but you don't have a bass player. And I said, that's true.
I love you, Rafa.
Yeah.
Love you too, man.
So Rafa joined the band to play the bass originally. And but I think he always knew he would end up playing some drums. I think he always knew. He was just like a smart ass, He was
the
just
original plan.
So he joined to play the bass originally, and it just hit me. You really thought that, didn't you, Rafa? Because you already played the band before that had to drum. Brasil. He really planned it all. Yeah. So one day we were writing a new song, and Gian, who plays very, very well the guitar, he came with a guitar riff idea. And then he said, Rafa, can you go to the drums real quick just so we can develop this idea? And Rafa went to the drums, and then I picked up the bass, and we played like that for like 3 or 4 hours to write that song. That song is in the first album. It's called We All. And we felt, when we finished playing like that, we looked at each other and we said, it's sounding really, really good like this, Let's play this song like this. And that was the first time we switched instruments. And from there on, it became a constant thing when we are writing music. The reason we changed the instruments, it's for the music. It's for that specific song. So if a song sounds good with Rafa on the drums, me on the bass, and Gian on the guitar, that's how we're going to record it and play it. If it sounds better with Gian on the drums, me on guitar, Rafa on the bass or on the guitars, that's how we decide. It's when we are writing the music. Basically, we start writing music mostly with guitars and melodies, and then we put the band. And that's when we try different lineups, and then we decided which is better. And once we decided, that's how we record and play live.
But how do you deal with it live? I mean, during the show, you switch instruments as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We represent the song the way that it was recorded.
Wow.
It's exactly the same way we recorded.
Same live. Yeah.
Wow. Unbelievable. I'm impressed. Okay. As you already mentioned, before the pandemic, you had a 2020 stadium tour planned with Metallica and, if I'm correct, also Greta Van Fleet and Ego Kill Talent, of course. What a fantastic but very mixed bill. How did it happen, and will you reschedule it sometime soon? What will happen?
It's already rescheduled. Yeah, it will probably happen in 2022. I mean, we can only say the dates for sure when the COVID situation is gone, but it's looking like it's going to be 2022. That's what the talks are at. And that happened, I'm not 100% sure how, but we end up being invited to play with them, and we were very, very excited. We are huge Metallica fans, huge.
Raphael and Theo, they are diehard fans.
Yeah.
We met,
me and Rafa, we met at a Metallica concert. That's how we met. Yeah, for the first time.
Which year? Which tour was that?
Rafa knows better than me the year, but it was the Reload, I guess. No, Guard Inc. Garage Inc.
Okay. Which one? Sorry.
Garage Inc.
Oh, Garage. Oh, wow. Long time ago.
Yeah. So yes, it was. I mean, we are. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Even if we have to kill someone, that's gonna happen.
Will you come to Europe as well with the same bill?
No, I don't think so. I think this bill is for Latin America, South America, Latin America. But I'm sure at some point we're gonna play with Metallica in Europe. But what we are playing in Europe for sure, it's a bunch of festivals. We're already booking some festivals for 2022 in Europe. I can't say, but I know it's looking like we're gonna play with a big band in Italy. But I can't say yet because it's not.
Iron Maiden.
That would be fucking great.
I can't say, but it's looking like we're gonna support a big act in Europe, in Italy.
Oh, wow.
And by the way, we love Italian food. It's the best food in the planet. Italian food and Italian wine. We love it.
So we know I will actually welcome you. You will find a lot of food in your dressing room, a good one. And I will personally make sure you'll have the best. Okay. Thanks, guys, for your time.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Hope to see you soon. And, that this horrible thing will soon end and that we will have our life back. And now we're going to close the show with another song from your new album, which is called Our Song. Let's play the video. Thanks, guys. Ciao.
Thank you.
Ego Kill Talent.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you so much. Ciao.
Ciao.